Okay, guys, I wanted to at least do one program where we ran enums, and this is a pretty straightforward thing. This is 9.9. I think you have one in 9.8. But I just want you guys to see, it's asking me to create a class named majors and it includes an enumeration for the 6 majors offered by a college. And then it wants me to display the enumeration values for the user and then prompt the user to enter a major. So what I want to do first is I want to display the each major, right? So I just want us to print available majors and then print out which majors are available. So you can see here I have this and majors dot values for each major in majors. I want to print out the values. This gives me an array, right? And I just want to print out each one of those. So I want to show you what happens when I do that. And what happens is this. It's going to print out that, which is just basically the value each time. Now this is an enum. It's really cool to see enums with in the space like this because this allows us to tell us exactly what the enum is doing. We're going to go and put a semicolon here which ends that enum and it's going to look like that. Then we can really work with this a different way. I'm going to go and run this again and you can see nothing's actually changed, right? Um, let's go ahead and talk about prompting the user to enter a major. It's also pretty straightforward. We can just prompt the user to enter a major and everything's capitalized. So we're going to say to uppercase for every time a user input something, right? Now we know we've got to enter division. So I'm going to go ahead and say that an enum is kind of like an object. I can give an enum parameters. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to add a string division parameter. And I'm going to say in order to instantiate a major, I want to know I want to know what division it's in. So I say this is declaring an enum, and we're going to bring in a string division, which is we've already declared as a instance variable for each enum. And I'm going to go ahead and say in here that this dot division equals division, right? And what's immediately going to happen is this. The enum is going to try to run, and it's going to try to declare each enumerator here, and it's going to have an error because I haven't declared the division. So I'm going to go ahead and run that, and you'll see how many errors I get. I have errors in the wrong place. That is because I don't know why the errors are there. String division reach the end without, that's the enum major, that's that. Oh, because I'm missing, for some reason, I'm missing a closing bracket. Okay, let's try this again, and you're going to see the errors I was expecting. Wow, I don't know what's happening here. There we go. I do know what's happening. Let's try to run this again. All right. So what you're going to have now is each one of these is requiring a string. It's requiring a string to run this correctly. So because I've said each enum has to have a string division. So we're going to come in here now. We're going to actually give it a parameter. So for ACC, this is business, right? I'm going to go ahead and take this down. CIS is also business. Chemistry is going to be science, right? So we're going to bring that down also to physics, which is also science. We're going to say English and history are in the humanities. So we're going to put that in there as well. Humanities and history is in the humanities, right? Okay, I'm going to go and run this now, and you're going to see it's going to run without errors, but it's not going to really tell us anything because when we type this in, nothing has been found. All right, so what we need is a line that just kind of looks up what's happened and finds the value. And it's straightforward at this point. We already have brought in the data. We made it to uppercase. Everything's cool. So all we're going to do now is we're going to print out. We're going to say the major, this particular major. Let's go ahead and make this look nice and pretty. Is in, there's no way to make that look nice and pretty, is there? We'll do it like this so you guys can see it pretty well here. So we're going to say the major value of user input. So that's actually bringing in the user input value, right? Which is going to bring in basically the phys or the English or history or whatever. And then we're going to find the division attribute. Now I can add as many attributes as I want to this. I can say like int credits, right? Um, ints credits required, right? And to get a degree, I don't know. I'm just being silly right here. I can now I can say this is going to require that integer value as well, and it won't really matter because that's not what we're bringing down. But I could say this dot credits required is equal to credits required, right? And it allows me to store all kinds of cool data in the enum. So let's say for a business degree, you need 132 hours. For a science degree, you need 125. For a CIS degree, so you need 143. For a humanities degree, I mean, what do they do over there? We'll say 120. I'm just being silly, guys. I'm not really picking on humanities. But we're going to say 123 as well. And then for science, scientists have to do a lot of stuff, so we're going to do the 160, and we're going to go from there. All right, so now this won't change anything. It'll still run the same way because we're not calling that value, right? But I could type in ACC, and it's going to say the major ACC is in the business division. And so this is should meet requirements. I'm going to go ahead and run the checks. I've met this before, but I've changed a few things. So let's go ahead and run the checks, and I think you'll see how this enum operates and really how cool it is. The only thing I'd like to change is just this parameter here. So this acts as a class where we can access certain things. You can see that each time I've actually done the check, it worked out really well. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. That's all I wanted to share with you on enums. Hopefully you guys have fun making them, and we'll see you in class.